Social Security cost of living adjustment was announced today, and it's a huge disappointment. And seniors were actually expecting a much larger increase and got a 2.8% increase. And based on the comments that I've seen so far, a large majority of seniors were not impressed, were not happy, because there are many reasons why. And I want to review the major headline with you from the Washington Post that highlights how frustrated seniors are with the latest Social Security cost of living adjustment. The headline says Social Security increase is in line with inflation, but key metric trails expenses. So, what is the Washington Post saying? What do they mean by that? I am going to explain in detail why this COLA is very disappointing and why a lot of seniors are frustrated because they feel like they cannot get ahead. And this particular article highlights key areas of expenses that have increased over the year that pale in comparison to what the Social Security Administration is pretty much offering as an increase. That is a $56 increase on average. And remember, not every senior is even going to get the $56 because that is the average increase. A lot of seniors are going to get about $40 increases, which makes things even worse. And I was talking to somebody today, and based on the calculation of what her current Social Security check is, she's going to get about $35 increase. So this is really a disappointing day, and I am going to explain to you what I think should be done and what you can do to get more resources to be able to get through the next couple of months. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors create the retirement benefits they deserve. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, welcome. I am glad you're here. There are a lot of stuff I want to cover with you today, and I want to start with this Washington Post article, and I want us to read it together because it highlights the frustration that seniors are facing. So it says millions of Social Security recipients will see a 2.8% cost of living increase in their monthly check next year, the agency said. The ongoing government shutdown delayed the annual cost of living adjustment, which is tied to the consumer price index, by a week. On Friday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said inflation rose to 3% in September year over year, which means that the Social Security Administration finally had the final piece of the puzzle to relieve the cost of living adjustment. So the COLA means a recipient who collects Social Security monthly will get an average benefit of $56 come January. This is what that looks like. But let me explain in detail why this is frustrating. Because remember, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I have been showing you this chart that shows where we've been with Social Security cost of living adjustment. Since the beginning of the year, inflation has been going up, and you've been seeing Social Security cost of living adjustment tracking inflation. So we started at 2.1%, and now we are at 2.7% based on what the Senior Citizens League was estimating. And then Mary Johnson, a highly respected Social Security analyst, was spot on. She concluded in September that based on what she's seeing, Social Security cost of living adjustment will be 2.8%. And she was right. That was where we landed. But here is what you are not seeing on the screen. It is the price increases that seniors have been experiencing in a lot of areas. So I'm going to go back to that Washington Post article, and then I'm going to walk you through some of the price increases that have been highlighted in that article. So it says that while the increase is in line with overall inflation this year, it trails categories that are particularly relevant to older adults. Friday's Consumer Price Index reading showed that medical care climbed 4% from year to year, while electricity and piped gas jumped 5% and 11% respectively. So there are a lot of areas in the economy that prices have increased dramatically. And one of them is, food. I've been talking about the rise in food prices for a long time, and food is one of the areas that seniors have seen a big increase. Electricity is another area, transportation, car repairs, Medicare, out-of-pocket expenses. And so you put all that together, and there are a lot of areas that seniors are seeing price increase, and a 2.8% increase does not do the job. Let's read a little bit more. So the AARP, the interest group for older adults, suggested in advance of Friday's announcement that the benefits bump will fall short of what seniors need in today's economy. According to an AARP survey conducted in September, 77% of older adults thought the cost of living increase of around 3% would not be enough to keep up with rising costs. That view was held across political affiliation, with 75% of Republicans and 79% of Democrats calling COLA insufficient. So, what does that mean? Social Security is the only source of income for more than 1 in 4 adult recipients. And so, if you have 1 in 4 seniors relying fully on Social Security, and you're getting a 2.8% increase when the same government is releasing inflation report today showing that electricity is up by 5%, gas is up by 11%, and medical care is up by 4%, but they're giving you a 2.8% increase. It shows that there is a big disconnect between, it looks like the government is speaking with both sides of its mouth, because it's telling you you should accept a 2.7%, 2.8% increase, but at the same time, the same government's information is telling you that electricity is up by 5%, medical care is up tremendously, gas bills are up by 11%, and on top of that, the same government is telling you that your Medicare Part B premium is going to go up substantially next year. In case you haven't heard, Medicare Part B premiums are slated to go up by 11%. So I want to hear from you, because, here is a statistics that I've been sharing quite recently, which shows that since 2010, Social Security cost of living adjustment has not kept up with inflation. That is very well documented. Since 2010, every single year, Social Security cost of living adjustment has not kept up with inflation. And it begs the question, if the government knows this, why are they always giving Social Security increases that do not reflect the current realities that seniors are facing? I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think should be, what do you think the Social Security increase for 2026 should have been, based on your expenses and the cost that you are seeing based on goods and services that you are consuming? For example, Medicare Part B premium is slated to go up by 11.6%, and Medicare Part B deductible is going up by 12%. So you can see everywhere you turn, there is a price increase that is way higher than what the government is sharing, particularly with Social Security increase. So let me know what you think. What do you think they should have, given as an increase, given what you know about price increases that you are facing on a daily basis? Here's another statistics I want to share with you. Out-of-pocket healthcare cost spending for Medicare has been increasing substantially. And you can see in 2022, Medicare beneficiaries spent $6,330 out of pocket on healthcare costs on average. So think about that. If you are somebody that's getting $2,000 in Social Security a month, and your Medicare out-of-pocket costs, not your premium, because your premium is taken out of your Social Security check directly, and your premium is already going up by 11.6%. On top of that, your out-of-pocket costs for a year is averaging $6,000. If you're getting $2,000 in Social Security benefit, and they are taking $185 or $200 for Part B premium, and you're spending $6,000 out of pocket, it means that about 40% of your Social Security check is going to medical care. And that is a staggering number. And that is for seniors who are currently on Medicare. There are seniors that are on Social Security but are not yet qualified for Medicare, and their situation is even worse. Because recently I've been doing some research and I realized that seniors that are on Social Security that are not yet on Medicare are in for a rude awakening this year, next year, starting in January. So before I go any further, the number you see on your screen um, is my, hold on a second. I want to put the right number on the screen. So this number is my text number, my text club. So if you want to be receiving up-to-date news, breaking news like today, then sign up for my text message list. It's text the word insider to 443-293-0080, and you'll be added to my text club. And every time there's breaking news like today, thousands of seniors received a text message from me earlier today announcing the cost of living adjustment and what it means for them. So if that is of interest to you, text the word insider right now to 443-293-0080 so that you can be added to the list. It's a free service. It doesn't cost you anything. And you'll be getting messages from me about twice a week telling you relevant information that you should know that will help you maximize your retirement and also understand what's happening with your benefits. All right, so that's the number you see on the screen. Moving on, I wanted to talk to you about seniors that are not on Medicare yet, that are less than 65, that are buying healthcare on the open market and are about to get a rude awakening because of what is happening with healthcare costs. Today, there was a news article that said healthcare prices are going to increase. Healthcare premiums on the open market are going to increase by 30%. 30%. On top of that, subsidies that were part of helping seniors buy healthcare have been ripped away through the big beautiful bill, which is the reason why the government is shut down. That is a whole different conversation. But the chart on your screen is an example of what somebody in Maine is going to face. A senior, 60 years and older couple who were paying, let's say, $1,000 for healthcare are going to pay $3,000 next year because those subsidies are gone. If you're a senior couple and you're making $85,000 together, you were paying $7,000 last year. Next year, you're going to pay $36,000. And this is just not for Maine. Other states are going to go through the same thing. I'm going to share with you a few other states that are in the same situation. And why am I doing this? I'm trying to show you that the cost of living adjustment you just received is a joke. And I know you know that already. But what I'm trying to show is that there is more expenses that are coming that are going to be hitting seniors and their pocketbooks that are going to make things so much worse. And that it's important that the government pays attention, the Congress pays attention to the plight of seniors. So this is an example of somebody in Kentucky. If you're a senior, 60-year or older, and you're both under 65, buying health insurance in the marketplace, if you make $44,000, you are paying $1,459. Next year, without the subsidies, you're going to be hit with $3,600. If you're making $85,000, you are paying $7,000, which was already a lot of money. Next year, you'll be paying $30,000 in healthcare costs. So, regardless of where you look, whether you're looking at Medicare, prices are going up. Whether you're looking at seniors that are buying healthcare on the open market, prices are going up. And then let's talk about food prices. Food prices have gone up tremendously this year. And nobody's talking about that. But that is also part of the reason why this cost of living adjustment is not cutting it, because food prices have gone up tremendously all year. So if you look at this chart that I'm about to show you, this is grocery prices have reached an all-time high in 2025. So wherever you turn, there is a price increase in essential goods and services that seniors need. And I already talked about electricity. I already talked about housing. I already talked about, transportation. I recently got a senior who messaged me on YouTube saying that the price of just repairing your car has gone up tremendously. So that is where we are. The news is disappointing, but what does it mean for you? How much are you going to get based on the COLA that was announced? What does it mean for you? Let's talk about it. So I have a few slides I want to share with you that highlights how much seniors are going to get in Social Security increase. So these are the 7 changes that are coming in 2026 based on this particular COLA increase. So here are the Social Security increases by category. If you are on retirement benefits, the average retiree is going to get $2,071, up from 2015. Remember, these are averages, so it doesn't mean that everybody gets this. It means that the average person getting Social Security, this is what they're going to get. So they're going to get $2,071, an increase of $56. If you're a couple receiving Social Security, you're going to get an increase of $88 from $3,120 to $3,208. If you're on SSDI, the average person is going to get $1,630, an increase of $44, up from $1,586. If you're on SSI, supplemental security income, your maximum benefit is going from $967 to $994. And if you're a couple that are both receiving SSI, your maximum benefit is going from $1,450 to $1,491. This is one thing that I don't really understand, and I've never understood this. So if you're a couple and you're on SSI, one person gets $967, but if you're a couple, you get $1,459, and that is not double the amount. So it means that if you're a couple and you're on SSI together, you even get less amount. You get $1,400 total, like what, $1,491 to live off the entire month. 2 people. That is rough. But the point I'm trying to make with this is that a retiree, the average retiree is getting a $56 increase. The person on SSDI, the average person is getting a $44 increase. And if you're on SSI, you're getting a $27 increase. There are a lot more happening. The maximum benefit at full retirement age is going to be $4,152. It means that if you've paid the maximum into Social Security and you're retiring this year, the maximum benefit you're going to get is $4,152. Now, taxable income, how much income is available to be taxed for Social Security? That goes up every year. This year, that number is going to be $184,500. It means that anybody making $184,500 or less will have to pay Social Security taxes next year, up from $176,100. If you're on disability benefits, you need to pay attention to this slide. There is something called the substantial gainful activity threshold. This is what the government uses to determine whether you are disabled or not when it comes to your ability to work. And if you go above these thresholds, you may get your disability benefits denied or canceled. So pay attention, especially if you're in the trial work period. You can only make $1,210, or you'll be breaching that threshold. Very, very important. A lot of people get into disability benefits trouble because they don't pay attention to these thresholds, and they're working part-time, and they think they can make endless amount of money and still collect disability benefits. It does not work that way. You have to stay within these limits, or your benefits will be declined or canceled. All right. Next, we're moving on to Medicare. We're in the Medicare open enrollment season, and your Medicare Part B premium is going to increase from $185 to $206, and your Medicare Advantage out-of-pocket maximum will decrease. That's the only good news I've seen today. Will decrease from $9,350 to $9,250 by $100. And I'll come back and talk about the Medicare open enrollment. If you are working and you're on Social Security and you're under full retirement age, pay attention to this chart. There is something called the earnings test. And 2026, you can make $24,480 or less and not have your Social Security benefits reduced. If you make more than that, your Social Security benefits will be cut. For every $2 you go over that limit, you will lose $1 of your Social Security benefit. It's called the earnings test, and it only applies to people who are working and on Social Security and are under their full retirement age. If 2026 is your full retirement age year, you can work for up to $65,160 and not get penalized. And then for every $3 you go above that limit, you lose $1. So in your full retirement age year, you can work more and make more. And then once your full retirement age passes, you can work as much as you want and not be impacted by any limitations on your Social Security check. So the earnings test is important because a lot of seniors run into Social Security overpayment because they don't pay attention to this chart. And then they think they can collect Social Security under their full retirement age and work as much as they want. And they end up not reporting that earnings. And then the government finds out years later, and then they take half of your Social Security check in order to make up what you owe the government. So make sure that you take a screenshot of this, because if you're working and you're not yet at your full retirement age, you need to comply with these requirements. The next thing I want to talk about is that the full retirement age is going up again to 67. Permanently is going to 67 for everybody born 1960 or after. And so why is that? Because during the Reagan administration, there was a policy change that changed the retirement age from 65 to 67, and it's been gradually being increased over the last couple of years, and is finally at a permanent year of 67. So if you were born 1960 or later, your full retirement age is at 67. Now there is talk of increasing the full retirement age to 69 or 70 years old. Why? Because the government is saying that Social Security is running out of money and they need to take drastic measures to fix it. And part of that is to increase the retirement age. Why would they do that? Because if you increase the retirement age, you make it harder for seniors to claim their full benefits. And so it saves the government money that way. I'm just reporting the news. You can decide what that means for you. But I think that they are going to increase the retirement age again to 69 or 70 because it is the easiest of the solutions for politicians. Why? Because I think that they know that seniors are not going to push back. And the things that are harder to do, which is raising taxes to bring in more money into Social Security, or paying all the money that the government borrowed from Social Security, those are harder to do, and they're probably not going to do that. So what am I saying? Well, first, before I go any further, if you haven't joined my text list yet, you are missing out. So text the word insider to 443-293-0080 to be added to my text club, where you get text messages from me about breaking news. Join thousands of seniors that are already on the list and are getting text messages from me about important updates that you need to be aware of that may affect your benefits, your retirement, and your finances. So that is the number you see on your screen. Now, I'm going to go back to the slide I was sharing with you and go back to the Medicare slide, because there are things I want to share with you about Medicare that are happening right now. So right now we are in the open enrollment season, and here are 3 things that you need to consider before you renew your Medicare benefits. There are 3 major changes that are happening with Medicare that a lot of seniors are not aware of. The first one is that Medicare Advantage plans are changing drastically, and there are 3 changes that are happening with Advantage plans. So if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, listen up. 1, plans are leaving states. So the plan that you're on may not even be in your state or maybe offered in your state anymore. So it's important that you look into that, because a lot of Medicare plans are just packing up and leaving specific states. That's the big change. Number two, Medicare Advantage plans are paring back benefits. So it is important to review to make sure that the benefits that you think you have, or you have access to, or you were relying on, is still part of your Advantage plan. Some people were getting cards, gift cards for groceries. Some people were getting free rides to medical appointments. Those benefits are being pared back or eliminated completely from certain Advantage plans. And Advantage plans are shrinking certain benefits. So those changes are important and means that you have to review your plan before you automatically renew. The third change that is happening with Medicare Advantage is to do with hospitals. Certain hospitals are dropping Medicare Advantage plans. So if you are in a particular area and you need to be in a particular hospital network, or you rely on a particular hospital, especially if you live in a rural area, make sure that your hospital accepts your Medicare Advantage plan. That is the first change that is happening with Medicare, and why you should not automatically renew your Medicare plan. Number two, original Medicare. A lot of seniors have been thinking that original Medicare is better than Medicare Advantage because there's less bureaucracy and you get a lot more done easily. Well, that's about to change, because if you live in the following 6 states: Arizona, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Ohio, Texas, and Washington State, starting January 1st, 2026, you are going to need prior authorization in order to get certain services, certain procedures done, or certain devices approved for you. And so it's a pilot that they are doing in these states, and they plan to roll it across the country. So all of a sudden, they're making Medicare, original Medicare, start to look like Medicare Advantage. Why would they do that? When it comes to the government, follow the money. So that's all I'm going to say, because somebody is unhappy about a lot of seniors being on original Medicare and wants to push a lot of seniors out of original Medicare. So now they're going to make original Medicare look like Medicare Advantage. And that's why they're doing this pilot in these 6 states, where before you didn't need all these pre-authorizations. Now they're going to require you to get it. And after the pilot is done, believe me when I say this, they're going to roll it out to the entire country. So that is the second change happening in Medicare, why you should pay attention to your plan before you renew. The third change that is happening has to do with prescription drugs. There are many, many drastic changes that are happening with prescription drug plans. They are less generous and the prices are going up. And so make sure that your Medicare Part D plans, or whatever prescription drug plan you're on, not only is it affordable for you, but also meets your needs and covers the drugs that you need covered. So I say all that to say that you should do your research before you renew your Medicare plan. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that our preferred advisory company is Chapter Medicare. Why? Because Chapter is different from all the others that are out there in one sense. They are not there to push specific Medicare plans on you, but to help you pick a better plan that is in your area, that meets your needs, meets the network of providers that you want, and fits your budget. So call Chapter today at 539-205-2147. Do not delay. We are in the open enrollment season from now until December the 7th. And this is the time to switch to a better plan so that you can achieve what I call peace of mind about Medicare, which means that you've reviewed your Medicare plan, you've had Chapter look at it and looked at the 24,000 plans that are out there, and picked and help you pick a plan that fits your needs. So give them a call today. I also put the link in the description and in the comments. And if you call and is busy, then fill out the form. There's a form there that they'll rather, if you rather have them call you, fill out the form, they'll call you back and help you get into or switch to a better Medicare plan. And they can save you money, $1,100 on average a year. So that is the number you see on your screen. So getting back to the point of this whole video. So Social Security COLA is disappointing. Inflation is running rampant. and seniors are feeling the effects of that inflation. At the same time, we've been waiting for Social Security increases all year, and promises have been made but have not been delivered. A lot of seniors were frustrated with the big, beautiful bill because it ripped away a lot of benefits that seniors relied on. And the increase that was in the bill was targeted at seniors, a specific group of seniors. And a large majority of seniors do not make enough money to even claim the tax deductions from the big, beautiful bill. And so it is a disappointing report because, as I said, since 2010, your cost of living adjustment has not matched Social Security inflation, actual inflation that you're experiencing. And if you feel that way, you are not alone. So I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think the cost of living adjustment should have been? Where are you seeing price increases in your life? Is it transportation? Is it rent? Is it housing? Is it food? You know, is it electricity? Is it utilities? Where have you seen the biggest price increase? Is it Medicare? Is it medical care? Is it out of pocket costs? Because I want to do my own survey and gather information around why there is such a disconnect between what seniors are experiencing and what the government is saying is actually happening in the economy. Because I don't think the government is paying attention to the specific needs of seniors. And as the Washington Post article that I shared talked about, seniors have seen tremendous price increases in certain areas that are not reflected in the cost of living adjustment. So, guys, I want to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I wanted to come on here and share this with you and give you some thoughts on what I think is going on and why there's such a disconnect between your COLA and actual inflation that is out there. So if you like what you heard, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get peace of mind regarding your Medicare, then call Chapter today at the number on your screen. I'm going to put their link and their number in the comments and the description for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in my video tomorrow, where I share other perspective on how do we move forward from here, given that the COLA has been so disappointing. So see you tomorrow.